So I went off sugar a few years ago, cold turkey, no sugar. I was very disciplined and militant about it. And in the first month of doing that, I lost 15 pounds. I didn't eat sugar and I sat on the couch and watched TV and I lost 15 pounds. So I know that it works, and I know that when you start eating sugar again, you look like melted ice cream. So a funny thing happens when you treat your body well and then stop treating your body well. It gains all the way back. It's just how it works. One of the cool things that happened to me when I was off of sugar is one day I finally broke through that part of ketosis where there was zero sugar left in my body and I was 100% in ketosis. And I was doing this and looking at my hands and arms and asking my wife if I was glowing. And I had to go and Google, like, what are the positive side effects of ketosis? And I read that it feels like being on speed. Like my body was on a drug, and it felt amazing. It's not an addictive thing like speed is, because it's a natural thing that happens in the body. The first time I went off sugar, I was working for a company and a bunch of us had like a weight loss competition. And so I think with Happy Valley Clinic and having some teamwork and having some accountability from that team, like how are you doing, is a really good way to stay with the program. And for me, it was about 3 weeks of eating no sugar and pacing from the refrigerator to the pantry and having cravings. And after the third week, it was gone, and I could just, it made it much easier to do intermittent fasting. It made it much easier just to live my life without being a slave to food. And I remember having the mindset that all of the food that I like to eat is trying to kill me. And as it's killing me, it's going to make my life less enjoyable to live because I'm not going to do the things I like to do. So try to find your reason other than just being on a team or keeping yourself accountable. You got to have a really good reason, because sugar is so addictive. Like if you think that cocaine is bad for you, put sugar at that same level as cocaine. Like you wouldn't do drugs, right? Think of sugar as a drug. So after about a month of not eating sugar, I had lost 15 pounds while watching TV, sitting on the couch and watching TV. But after I'd lost that weight, I noticed that I had a lot more energy. And I wanted to go and do exercise again, and I got into bicycling. So after not eating sugar and watching TV for a month, sitting on the couch, I'd lost 15 pounds. And all of a sudden I felt like I had a lot more energy. So I went out and I bought a bicycle, and I kept not eating sugar while riding a bike in the evenings after dinner. And in 3 months, I lost 35 pounds and felt like I was the healthiest I'd been in a very long time. I even went on a 100-mile unsupported bike ride. And I remember installing this app on my wife's phone, and I said, this little dot is me, and if it stops moving for longer than 45 minutes, get in the car and come and rescue me. But I made it. I rode all the way around Utah Lake, 105 miles by myself. It was very difficult, but I made it, and there's no way I could have done that with that extra 35 pounds of weight. Yeah, so it's hard to get off of sugar, but the longer you're off, the more you notice that you're happier because you've got more energy, and it's natural energy. It's not coming from a monster drink that's filled with caffeine and sugar to keep you going. Your body is naturally doing it. The more exercise you get, the happier you are. You're not going to be as grumpy around your family or coworkers, and it just makes life a little easier. Going off sugar is not easy. It's going to be super hard. You're probably going to have to re-educate yourself about everything that you eat, because once you start looking at the label on the stuff that you eat, you're going to notice that it has carbs and sugar. And it's going to be difficult in the beginning to find things that don't have carbs and sugar in them. But it's an easy way to change your life. Sometimes you're such a fat piece of shit that you can't even exercise.
We'll admit that. We'll like it.
And if you're a fat piece of shit like me, the easiest way to stop being fat is to stop eating sugar. That might be the best thing to say.
I love it.
That was great.
I love it. Yeah.